Stephen, welcome back to Warrington Town Hall. It's been best part of a decade since you were last here. You've accepted this position as interim Chief Executive for a period of 6 months. During that limited tenure, what exactly do you hope to achieve for Warrington?
Well, the council is very much improving in terms of delivery of its services, and I want to make sure we continue with that improvement plan. Obviously, to deliver the council's priorities, in particular at a time of austerity, to protect the vulnerable people in the town, as well as ensuring that we are developing the economic investment of the town. Obviously, I'm only here for a short time, and to find a top-notch, world-class Chief Executive who can take the job on from me in 6 months or so's time.
Do you see that possibly as your biggest challenge while you're here, finding the top-notch Chief Exec?
Yeah, talent spotting, as I know, at the rugby club is not always very easy to do, but one of my challenges, along with the leader and the deputy leader of the council, is to find a top-notch Chief Executive.
For as long as we've been covering Warrington Council, which is a period of probably 50 years for our media organisation prior to Warrington Worldwide, there's always been restructuring, there's always been cost-cutting. Is there any cost-cutting element to your role at the council here now? And if so, will it affect levels of service?
Well, over the years, all public sector has been through massive change. It's made a change rather than restructuring. I mean, this year the council has to find £40 million worth of savings from its budget. That's on top of the 20-odd million pounds it had to find last year. And that's going to be challenging because you don't want to damage the frontline services. You want to offer a quality service to the people of the town. So I've got some work to do to make sure that we don't know the cost of everything and the value of nothing, actually. And that's what I'll be doing, working alongside the councillors to do exactly that.
Well, we know you're a very busy guy. You're also chairman of Warrington Wolves. You also wear quite a few other hats. How on earth are you going to get all that work of a chief executive into a 4-day week?
Well, I just prioritise. There are 8 days in a week, Gary, I believe, and work very hard to make sure I do all the duties that are expected of me as chief executive of the council in those 4 days. Yes, I do have other responsibilities, and that does include being the non-executive chairman of the rugby club. And as you know, I'm very passionate about the rugby club, and I'll be working hard to make sure we maintain a very strong position that we have at this point of the season, both in the Challenge Cup and, of course, the league.
Now, worst case scenario, 6 months' time, you haven't found a successor, you haven't found this top-notch chief executive. What happens then?
Well, I may be here slightly longer than the 6 months, but I guarantee we will find a top-notch chief executive. I started the process yesterday of the search for such a person to come to Warrington. I'm convinced that it will be done within a very short time frame. I want to do this job. I've done the job before. I was here 9 years ago, and I really do want to help at this moment in time, but I do not want to be here permanently.
It's early days now, but do you feel there's a possibility that there's someone internally who might fulfil the role you're looking for?
Well, obviously we're going to cast the net widely, nationally, and we're going to look internally as well. And we have an open mind about that situation at this moment in time. We've got a lot of talent in the council. There's also people outside of the council who could do this job.
There were mixed views of your predecessor, Diana Terrace, who's left now. What were your own views?
Diana I think, was very, very professional. She did a good job here. There were some issues, but as I said right at the beginning, the council was on an improvement agenda, and I want to continue with that. And I wish Diana all the best in her new role in Barnsley.
We touched on economic redevelopment here in Warrington. One of the big things we've always discussed over the years in your various roles, particularly back as Chief Executive of the North West Development Agency, was the Omega site. I believe at long last something is very close to happening there.
Yeah, we are edging to a proposal, I believe, for Omega, which is going to be very, very positive. And I bring 8.5 years of experience at the development agency, and I've been working for the last 18 months in the private sector in order to stimulate the economy and get the right sort of investment. So there's Omega, there's the continued success of Birchwood, there's a town centre redevelopment, there's areas near the market in the town centre, all of which are on my agenda. And working alongside Andy Farrell, one of the directors here, I'll make sure that we do stimulate the private sector and build the profile of Warrington for what it used to be, which is a very successful and vibrantly economic town, and that's one of my ambitions while I'm here.
It has been well publicised your return to Warrington Town Hall. some people would say you should never revisit somewhere again. How do you feel about that?
Well, I've always enjoyed my time in Warrington since 1994 when I came and met you for the first time, Gary, at the Collegiate, and I was asked to help here for a short period of time. I think I've got a good experience of the town. I know the town. My work at the Rugby League Club, I think, has enhanced that. And I was delighted when I was asked to help, and that's what I'm doing.
A few eyebrows were raised about the legality of you actually taking on the role as a former employee of the council. Certain mentions were made of pensions and things like that. Can you clarify the situation?
Well, I was a former employee of the council. I was here from 1997 to 2003, but I do not have access to, or even access ever to, a council pension scheme. So therefore there isn't a problem about my appointment from a pension point of view. Okay.
As always, Stephen, it's been a pleasure. As I said at the beginning of the interview, welcome back to your position here at Warrington Borough Council, and hopefully in 6 months' time we can be sitting down and talking to your possible successor.
I hope so. I hope we'll meet again, Gary. Best of luck with Warrington Town for next season. And of course, I hope we'll meet on the road to Wembley this year, on the road to Old Trafford.
Okay, Stephen, all the best.
Thank you.